we started with the 2018 tweet, and you already going through things. Later on that year, you get traded from Toronto.
Yeah.
Right? It's the home that you've known, well, since you were able to get a passport. It's the home that you've known, the place that you become an all-star. One of your closest friends in the world, Kyle Lowry, is there, and they trade you off to San Antonio. You know, you go through some things then, and as well, you know, I know during that time, your pops, Big Frank, he's dealing with illness. How much did the trade from Toronto, the subsequent 3 years, what your father was going through, how did that play on your mental health?
Man, it fucked me up, I'm gonna be honest. Like, and it's crazy because I'm more than comfortable talking about it now, but for the longest it fucked me up, man, because, you know, one, that was a place I wanted to be, thought I was gonna be, gave everything to. Like, my whole motivation and drive was to simply, you know, put Toronto on the map, you know what I mean? You know, I wanted to follow the whole motto of, you know, Kobe, my favorite player. I wanted to play on one team. You know what I mean? I had it all mapped out. So when I got traded, it was such a blow because at the time I was dealing with family stuff. Like you said, my dad was, you know, that's when my dad first started getting sick, and you know, that was the first time, like, in my professional career where I just felt like out of it. I felt lost. I felt like I started to question every single thing. Like, it was a moment to where, like, you know, I didn't want to believe it because, like, the moment I found out, I'll never forget this day. I was at a movie premiere watching Equalizer 2. Denzel was sitting down the road. Like, it was like one of those cool moments, you know what I mean? Like, and I kept getting a call from my GM, and, you know, I couldn't answer the phone. So I'm like, man, fuck it. It can't, like, let me check Twitter. You know, everybody always want to check Twitter, see what's going on. So I'm like, I don't see nothing on Twitter or whatever. So I just remember leaving the movie. I get the call, told me I got traded. You know, I mean, I was in the car getting something to eat, going to go get something to eat. I didn't tell nobody in the car what happened when I got the phone call. I just told dude, stop the car. I got out the car, started walking. I just walked down the street, sat in front of a fast food restaurant, and I just started crying. Like, I couldn't believe it, you know what I mean? And first person I called was Cal, you know what I mean? It was probably 3 o'clock in the morning for him in Philly. I sat on the phone, talked to him for a minute, and just try to, you know, like, figure it out. So they told me, you know, they just wanted me to know first before it came out. So I'll never forget, that night I went to the beach. I walked on the beach for probably like 2 hours, ended up going to my mama's house, sleeping on my mama's couch because I didn't want to be around nobody. Like, I didn't tell my mama I didn't tell nobody what happened. Like, turned my phone off. I woke up the next morning, everywhere. Had thousands of text messages, phone calls. I just remember just getting in my car, like just driving the next day, just trying to figure it out. Like, what's next? You know what I mean? Like, how am I going to address this for myself and just for everything else? Because I think it hit hard too, because everybody knew how much I wanted to be there. You know what I mean? How much I gave to the city. So it was kind of like one of those emotional trades. So it took me a while, man. I was messed up for a while. I think I told this story before. I ended up going to Anguilla. Just leave.
Yeah.
Just left.
Yeah.
Just went to Anguilla and just was like, I was trying to figure it out, man. I ain't gonna lie, like, I left. I'm gonna tell y'all, I ain't never told this story. This is the funny part of the story. I remember I left. I said, man, fuck it. I need to get away because this shit is driving me crazy. I got all my partners. We flew to Miami from Vegas. I stopped in Miami before we went to Anguilla on purpose, just so we could go to strip club.
Tootsies.
My man.
Stop. Literally. We stopped, literally. We stopped, went in the strip club. It was dark when we went in there. When we came out, it was morning, the sun was up. We got right back on the plane with the Anguilla.
Oh, I love it.
Stayed in Anguilla, trying to get my mind right, take my mind off everything. We eating on the island, they catching the lobster and everything out the water, cooking it. I'm just trying to take my mind off it. It wouldn't shake. When we left Anguilla, I stopped back in Miami again to go to strip club. Then flew my ass home. But it was just like, I was trying to do anything to get my mind off it because I was like, I was so out of it, you know what I mean? Like, I was just so out of it, man. And, you know, I think that was a time for me, like, I started, like, searching in all the wrong places of trying to, you know, find myself, you know what I mean? And at the same time, not lose myself, you know what I mean? It was a real tricky time for me just trying to figure it out, man, because, you know, it was a lot of stuff waiting for me back home that, you know, I wasn't ready to deal with, you know what I mean? And I was fucked up, but at the same time, I didn't know how to fully express it the way I needed to or fully ask for the right help that I needed to get me through it mentally, you know what I mean? All I always knew was like, I gotta combat this with working out, you know what I mean? Like I go to the gym in the middle of the night, I go get up 500-600 shots, I go do this, I was driving myself so thin, you know what I mean? I'm getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to just go work out, you know what I mean? Telling my trainer, let's do a pool workout, let's go run on the beach, let's go. I'm doing anything, not knowing I'm just overly exerting myself mentally and physically, again, that's just making it worse on myself. So, you know, it was a tough time for me for sure.